Hello, we're here. My name is Dean Snider. I'm Director of Athletics here at Whitman College, and I'm here with Matt Airy. And Matt Airy is our assistant coach and basketball coach on the men's side, and real pleasure to have you here, Matt, and glad to visit with you here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, Matt, you're an alum of Whitman College. What year did you graduate?
I am. I'm a proud class of 2004 after a little bit of an extra year.
Right.
Came in 2003 and got a chance to have a double major and stay for an extra year, so I took the opportunity to be here, and it kind of stuck because now I've been back for a little while since graduating.
You have.
Yeah.
Highlight for your playing years?
Well, you know, we didn't have a ton of success on the floor. I would say the biggest highlight was just the people that I got to meet, the relationships I got to build, both on campus, obviously with faculty, but my teammates have been, some of my best friends and the people that I've associated with the most in my time since graduating. So I would say the highlight would be the people I got to be with.
That's great. Tell us a little bit about your path. Since you left Whitman, you graduated from Whitman, you started right into coaching, and you found your way back here. What was your path to finding your way back?
I did. Like a lot of Whitman grads, I left and I wasn't entirely sure what I wanted to do. I knew that I really loved my time as a collegiate athlete, and even in the summers I had gone back to coach with my old high school. So my coach at the time, my high school coach at the time, was I just started at Bellevue Community College. His name was Jeremy Eggers. I played for him in high school, and I would go back and help him out in the summers. And he had an opportunity for me to just start as a real, low-level, bottom of the totem pole guy. And it was an opportunity to kind of be part-time there and work 2 or 3 other jobs.
Right.
But I took him up on it. I really wanted to be a part of it, and probably made about half the games that year, having to do various other things to make ends meet. But over the course of 4 years there, I had the opportunity to kind of grow into a more substantial role there until I was actually full-time at Bellevue, wearing a couple of hats, but all under one roof, which was nice. And then Coach Bridgeland got the job here and gave me a call, and we had known each other a little bit previously, and the opportunity to come back with what was happening with the W Club and the changes that were taking place in varsity athletics was just too good to pass up. So I came back with Coach, and been here ever since.
Yeah, and you've been with us for a while now, so maybe talk to us a little bit about some of the changes you alluded to that you've noticed in your athletic program, in basketball, maybe in the program as a whole, since the inception of the W Club.
It's really been neat to see, and from my perspective, I'm thinking of it when I was a player. So my first experience on campus as a player was in 2000, so it's really been 15 years that I've kind of had a chance to look at this, and then 8 years now as a staff member. And the W Club, I arrived in 2008, by which time the W Club had a chance to kind of get some traction and make a difference. And it's, I tell people it's unrecognizable. It's really not in any way the same type of experience. It's so elevated for all of our student athletes here as to what it was when I was a student athlete. To be quite honest, my position here as an assistant coach was something that came about because of the W Club.
That's right.
A couple of W Club members at the time just felt that full-time assistant coaches were going to be an important part of the college, and I was really blessed to have a chance to be one of the first. But that's because of the W Club, and the ability to use some of those resources to enhance the student experience here is just from my perspective and my recollections as a student athlete, it's a completely different experience. It's kind of akin to being kind of involved in a part-time club, and then suddenly elevating and being full-time and engaging fully with a club, whether that would be fencing or dancing, whatever it might be. If you did it part-time and then all of a sudden you said, hey, we're going to put the resources in it to make it full-time and make it something that's of real value and experience, that's precisely what's happened across the board here. Right. And I think the results that I've seen within all of our athletic programs speak for themselves. I mean, you think about the swimming program and how well they've done. Tennis has continued to be dominant. Both men's and women's tennis has continued to be dominant. Women's basketball played in the national championship game. Men's basketball won 20 games last year we did, and that's the first time in about 30 years that we've done that. So the results speak for themselves, and that's kind of nice, but what's behind that and what's driving that are the resources from the W Club that have enhanced the student experience. That's what makes it happen here from my perspective, and it's just been kind of a beautiful process to watch as it's grown and unfolded over these last 8 years or so.
Yeah, it has. So tell us a little bit about this year's team. Now you've got a lot of new young faces in this team. Look like an athletic bunch. And tell us what we might expect from this year's team.
We do. We have 7 freshmen this year, which is our largest class of. We never had 7 freshmen. We had 7 newcomers before. That was in our first recruiting class,
right,
7 years ago. So it's a big group. They're clearly phenomenal students. I mean, that's a given at Whitman. They're driven. They're going places. But athletically, they're highly competitive. Our first game last week, we had a chance to really run a number of those guys out that late in the game, where we had 5 freshmen on the floor essentially the last 10 minutes of the game, and they were going toe to toe with a really strong Division III team from the SCIAC. And so, in terms of talent, they're exceptional. There's always a learning curve. We're working through that. Our returners and our leadership has been phenomenal, building off of a really positive step our culture took last year. There's been a lot of ownership on the part. We have 8 returners, 7 freshmen. The 8 returning guys have just been really good about setting the tone and leading themselves, and kind of not relying on the coaches to call and police everything. They're completely engaged. It's their program, and they're treating it as such, and that's just helped the freshmen and the new faces come along that much quicker. And it's also brought them together. Our team is incredibly close, which we really enjoy. They're a lot of fun to be around.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Matt. It's been great to hear from you. This is Matt Airy, men's assistant basketball coach. Matt, thank you for all you do. Thank you for the leadership you provided, not only within the basketball program, but department-wide as well. A real significant difference maker in our program. So, Matt, thank you very much. And for those of you watching today, thank you for participating in Whitman basketball, and hope you enjoy our show, our game today, and support our students. This is all about the student experience, and we appreciate your support of our students. Thanks, Matt, and we'll head it back to Bob here. Thanks.
Go Whitman.